Hello, happy Monday. It's a crazy one already. I'm sure you guys are used to that, but for those of you that are new here, my name is Kristen Langford, and this is a vlog all about pre-K. This week's theme is going to be gingerbread, and I have a lot of things to show you. So Monday, Miss Sam had some things to take care of that happened over the weekend for her, so she is not here today, but we do have helping hands, so we are good. We have a lot of projects going on, some ornaments that we're trying to make, actually lots of ornaments that we're trying to make, probably too many, and we're gonna run out of time, but that's okay. And then we also have our school-wide performance tomorrow, which last year we did not get to do it like in front of parents. We still did it. We went on the stage and I recorded it and like sent the link out. But this year we get to actually come to school after the kids go home. I think it's like 6 o'clock it starts, and we get to do a performance. So we are going to do Milton the Dancing Christmas Mouse, which is by Jack Hartman on his like holidays something CD. I just do it on Amazon Music. And then we're also gonna do Jingle Bells, just like Jingle Bells, and then the main like Dashing Through the Snow, and then Jingle Bells again, and we have like little bells the kids are gonna use, and that's it. So simple, easy, the kids love it. They have great dance moves, and we practiced this morning after breakfast on the stage. So we'll practice one more time on the stage tomorrow, and then it's the performance day. So fingers crossed, at least they're super little and cute, so it doesn't matter what they do, they're gonna look adorable. Anyway, so we have all of that going on this week. We also have, our school has a holiday shop, which they set up for PTA, the Parent Teacher Association. They set up like little tables and like knick-knack things for mom and dad and grandma and sisters and all that. Anywhere from 50 cents to like $20 items. And the kids can bring in an envelope, and on the envelope it says like who they're buying for and how much money they have to spend. So we have that going on this week. Our shopping days are today and Wednesday. We do have teacher dress up days and student dress up days, or not teacher. We have a teacher 10-day countdown that our principal and assistant principal do for us every year. And so today was snowman soup and cookies that our principal made for us. I haven't gotten that yet. I need to go get that. And then we have dress up days for all the students for 2 weeks, which I don't know if I've told you this before, but I have a love-hate relationship with it because it's just like one more thing in the mornings. But today was white, silver, or gold. So I wore my silver skirt, and my kids have like fancy dresses too. So I don't even know what tomorrow is. I should probably look so I can be more prepared. But nonetheless, you know how it is. The last 2 weeks before we go on break is just packed with chaos. So I'm here for it. Let's do this. First thing I wanted to show you is I bought these on Amazon. They're just little wooden ornaments. They already have a hole ready to go. We're just putting a piece of tape in the middle, and we're gonna let the kids paint the top part red and the bottom part white. Then we'll take the tape off, and they're gonna use a marker to give it like 2 little eyes and a nose, and then we're going to put the ribbon on it, and it will be Santa on this side. Then on the back side, we're gonna let them paint it all white and then put like an orange nose to make like a snowman with black dots for like the mouth and the eyes. So it's gonna be like a double ornament painted by the kids, and these are super cheap. I got them on a deal, so they were even cheaper, but there's like a million of them, so I can do it for multiple years. It even comes with the ribbon that you can tie to it, which is nice. So we're gonna hopefully get to those today, and then we are also doing a couple other things I'll go show you. So we have these white, they come like this, just white felt trees, and we gave them a Q-tip, and they're just putting ornaments on it, and then we will just write on the back their name and the year. And then we got these wooden ornaments that we found back there. So one shaped like a wreath, and then the other one is just an ornament shape. And we don't have enough for every kid to make a wreath and an ornament, so we're letting them choose which one they want to make, and obviously they're painting it. This one's green. We're gonna add some red dots to it. And then the ornament, we're gonna let them paint and decorate as well. So lots of different things all over the place, but we're trying to get rid of things, and it's crafts and the kids love it. Another thing we do, which I'll show you once I get them, is I go to the grocery store and I ask for grocery bags, like the brown ones, and we decorate the back that's like plain, like an ornament and their name and glitter, and then while we're doing all these different crafts, all these things, whatever, we put them all in the bag, and then on the last day we staple the bag, and so it's kind of like a gift for mom and dad, and it has like a million things in it. So it's a really easy way to stay organized, but also like you have so many things, you don't have to individually wrap every single thing. We try to use tissue paper sometimes, but it's always different. So anyways, the kids are gonna come in like 5 more minutes, so I thought I was gonna get a lot more done. Apparently I'm not. I'm going to just keep adding tape to these ornaments, and then I will see you hopefully after school, but I do have to leave early for the dogs today, so maybe tomorrow. I don't know. Hello, happy Wednesday. It's dress up week, so we have all these headbands that we use for the kids for their performance that they did last night. They did so good, it was so cute, and so I just decided to put one on. But anyways, it is Wednesday and it is cooking day, and the letter of the week is letter H. So we are making hippos. Woo! This one has a lot of prep work, so we'll see how it goes, but let me show you our work. All right, a tad bit dangerous, so we'll have to keep an extra eye on them because we're using toothpicks, but we just cut a pear in half, and then we also cut a grape in half. We're gonna have to be careful because, you know, grapes are kind of choking hazards, so when they're eating it, before they eat the big one, we'll probably cut it too, but they're gonna use it big for the picture. So they're gonna put 2 big grapes onto the back for like the ears, and then these are like the little nostrils, and then the half of a marshmallow is gonna go on here like stuck to make eyes, 2 eyes, and then we'll put like a little black dot for the pupil. And then these are going under the hippo. We'll lift him up like that for his like teeth. So overall, it's gonna look adorable, but it's kind of a lot of steps. We'll see how they're able to accomplish it. And then I have to pass out all the cookbooks and get it all ready. Okay, all set up. The kids are about to come in, and hopefully today after school I'll be able to record what we're doing in small group this week and what books we're reading for Gingerbread Week. See you soon. Okay, it is the end of the day. I am going home very, very soon, but I wanted to hop on and show you our project of the week for Art Center and our sensory bin and our Play-Doh and any other little random things. So let's go. Okay, so our project is gingerbread, and we just have a plain person. They can make a gingerbread girl with the bow on top, or they can put the bow right here to make it a boy. We just put the materials simply in here. We have little strips with those fancy scissors that can cut the paper different ways, and then buttons and the bows, and then glue sticks. Here's some of the ones that we have so far. So we have a boy and a boy and a boy. Then we got 3 girls over there. We did not practice this at all today. I kind of forgot. So we have some practice to do tomorrow, but look at these gingerbreads I tried to draw. They look like, I don't even know what they look like, but not gingerbread men. Then we have our lovely colored rice for sensory bin. And these are from last year. We made them. We found them in the closet, and then we just added numbers because we had like a different gingerbread poem where they did like 5 little gingerbread, I think sitting on a cookie sheet or something like that. I don't know. Whatever. So we put them in here because it's fun, and they are just using these to fill them up usually with the rice, and then they're just shaking it out. Or I told them that they could count how many of these and put that inside of each one for 1 through 5. Still fun. And then Play-Doh, we have brown. Again, this brown's gonna be done after this week, I'm sure. And then we just have gingerbread cutouts. These are massive, and I'm pretty sure nobody can even use it because there's not enough Play-Doh. But they are using the little cutouts, and then buttons, and more for buttons, and more for buttons, and eyeballs. And the projects that I was showing you earlier in the week, we went ahead and painted them. So So we took the tape off. They were able to paint the top and the bottom. Then we flipped it over and let them paint the back white. So the next step is we are going to use a black permanent marker to add the little eyes, and then we'll put like a little rosy nose so it looks like Santa Claus. And then on the back, we're gonna do eyes and a mouth and then like an orange for a snowman nose. Very easy. Then I just use, there we go, masking tape for their name so that we can keep track of whose is whose. And we will collect all of these ornaments. We did not get anywhere with these, so hopefully tomorrow we can start working on those too. I also wanted to show you the bulletin board. So cute. We have a menorah, a wreath, some stockings, Christmas tree that actually does have battery operated lights on it, and some presents. And then our door has our reindeers from last week. And our letter H activity. We put our letter activities out here every week. Okay, so the bulletin board is still waiting on some words. I don't have them here because Miss Sam took them to cut them out. We were gonna cut them out with the Cricut or the Silhouette or any of those kind of machines, but we just decided to go old school and we printed it out on white paper and we're just tracing it and cutting out each letter, which after she's done, she's probably gonna be like, never again. Anyways, the door is gonna say our differences make us special because they all look so different. They're little reindeer. And then the bulletin board is going to say, the only time this class is silent is at night. Hilarious. But we do have a door decorating contest, and normally Miss Sam goes all out and makes it super cute, but I kind of convinced her to put kid work on there, so we'll see how it goes. I think sometimes kid work wins, and sometimes they like to see the over-the-top teacher artist work too, so we'll see how it goes. But anyways, I'm gonna go home. I'll catch back with you guys about the books that we're reading and all of our centers very soon. Hello, it is Thursday after school. We couldn't go outside today because it rained out of nowhere last night, so the playground was just soaking wet. So we stayed inside and we did some exercise videos. We found this like Grinch exercise. It was hilarious. And then we did yoga. Anyway, so the point of that is I didn't get to come on here and talk to you guys, but I promised you I would go through some of the centers that we did this week. So I'm gonna start with our reading center. As usual, we have our letter of the week book that we do. We did switch this to, instead of Miss Sam doing this activity, we have our new parent, Miss Adriana, doing this activity so that it stays the same. You know, it's the same thing every week. We don't have to like reteach any of the things that we're doing since she's learning. And then in Miss Sam's group, she did some syllables. These are super cute. It's gingerbread week, so the pages have cookie sheets for 3 syllables, 2 syllables, and 1 syllable. And then each of the little cards, they have a gingerbread man on them, but it also has Christmas words or holiday words. So this one's elf, and so they just had to say elf, and then they sorted it into the 1 syllable cookie plate. So super cute. Some of the groups only got through a couple of them, needed more help with it. One of the groups finished it so quick that Miss Sam was having to like come up with other words and have the kids come up with other words that they could break into syllables. And then we also introduced in whole group like taking part of the syllable away. We kind of started with compound words and we did it like, all right, we're gonna break apart cupcake. So say cupcake. All right, now let's break it apart. Cup, cake. Okay, now I'm gonna take cup away. What's left? Cake. So it took a lot of practice, but giving those motions really helps them to kind of like visualize a little bit. There's also cards out there that you can, has a picture of a cupcake and you cut it in half and you say cup, cake. So that's a good idea too. Anyways, overall, they've been doing really well with that too. So then the next step would be, we're gonna do, you know, onset and rhyme. S-ing, take away s-ing. So pretty impressive, they're learning. Okay, and then in my group for literacy, I pretty much like split it usually. So by two of my groups are working on the letter of the week or something related to their IEP, which usually goes with more explicit instruction. And so we use the same cards that we've been using. We built the letter, and then we also, on this one, circled the capital H's, and then we had our picture cards and we talked about things that start with the letter H. We made the sound, just a lot of repetitive activity. My other two groups that we reviewed the letter H too, because why not? And then we did some of these together with one of the groups. Like I did one baggie with all of them together. And what it is it's matching the uppercase and lowercase, which they've been practicing, so they got that part. But then in addition to that, they also have to find the picture that has the beginning sound as well. So this is a lot harder because it takes the skill of, first of all, being able to say the word and knowing what that beginning sound is, but then they also have to be able to know which letter makes that sound, and we haven't really learned all these letters yet. So that's why one of my groups, we did it together and we reviewed each of the letters that were in that bag and what sound they make, and we talked about what the pictures were, and then we did the puzzles. But then my other group, they're like my higher group, that's just the way it is, you know, there's 4 of them. I have 4 bags because I just split the alphabet into 4 different bags, and I gave each kid their own bag and they were able to do the activity on their own. I was very impressed. So uppercase, lowercase, and then a picture of what that, like what starts with that letter. And then the independent group, we'll never learn. We used red and green rice from the sensory bin. We put it on a tray, and then we gave them these cute little gingerbreads with a letter, and they had to write the letter in the rice. So I laughed, but they did pretty good. I mean, it's engaging, that's good, but then sometimes it's also messy and the rice. I'm kind of over the rice. I love coloring it, but it's just like always all over the floor no matter what we do. So if you have any ideas for that, fill me in. Okay, so that's literacy, and then moving on to math. Start with the independent for math, which by the way, I'm loving only having 1 independent center and having 3 centers with 3 teachers. It's glorious. So the independent one, Play-Doh, my go-to. These little cards, I wish I knew where they, oh, I do. Play-Doh to Play-Doh, see? It says like trace it with a marker, but I just told them to use the Play-Doh to make it, and then they had to count the fingers, 1, 2, 3, and then they had to put buttons on the gingerbread men, so 3, and then read the word, we skipped that part. But then down here was the 10 frame, and they just had to put 3 balls of Play-Doh on there. And so it just has cards for every number all the way to 10. Easy, very engaging. Even my not my low, but like my middle group, sometimes they get a little off task without a teacher, and they all earn an extra sticker today because they were on task. They made the number perfectly. They were counting it. They blew our mind. Okay, so then Miss Adriana's group, I have Build a Gingerbread House, and this is from Busy Hands and Minds. And then it came with these cute little cards that have gumdrops on them. So it would say like yellow 9, and then orange 2, and purple 4, which I love because it's more than just one part of counting. They have to actually look at the color too, and then recount and all that. And you were supposed to use like actual gumdrops or cubes or who knows. We didn't have that. So we just cut little paper circles to look like gumdrops, and then they just counted out the colors that they needed for the gumdrops on the house. And it worked just fine. They're not even laminated, so they probably won't last very long, but it lasted this week, and that's all that matters. And then Miss Sam's group was another building puzzle, kind of like mine with the beginning sound with gingerbread. But this one, the gingerbread man with a number, and then you had to find the fingers that matched that. Every time I do this, I don't have like a prepared matching, but whatever, you get the idea. So this has fingers, so it was 5, 6, 7, 8, and so they talked about that. They showed it on their fingers, and they had to match that part up. And then after that, it had dice. They had to count how many dots were on the dice to match it, and then finally a domino. So they had the number, fingers, dice, and a domino of the same number, and they built it. So it was the same activity for every group, but the way that she organized it with who was in the group and what they needed help with was a little different to differentiate it for the kids who needed a little extra support. My group did the number page where we did last week, if you saw that video. It basically just has, it's like a number worksheet, and so they traced the number, they drew that many in the 10 frame, they counted that many of a picture, they circled that many, and then they flipped it over and they used dabbers to find the number. So we did number 8 in my small group, and then tomorrow we're gonna do number 9 all together. And then next week, I'm pretty sure we're gonna do number 10, and then we'll be done and we'll be able to go back to really focusing on all the numbers instead of numbers individually. So that one wasn't really that differentiated. It depended on the group. Like my lower one, we didn't practice the number 8 because we're still working on the number 1 or 2 or 3. So we kind of went back to those numbers instead of really pushing through to 8. We exposed to 8, but we didn't, you know, take too much time on it. Okay, so that is small group. And then next I'm gonna show you our stories. All right, so just like every week, our letter this week was letter H. So we started with our Alpha Tales letter H. I just keep these right behind me and I grab it out each week. And then on Tuesday, we read The Gingerbread Boy, and we talked about the characters and the order, and it does have some, you know, threshers, things like that. So we talked about vocabulary. And then we talked about the ending, and in The Gingerbread Boy, he does get eaten by that sly old fox. Then on Wednesday, we read The Gingerbread Girl, which has different characters, some of the same. So we compared that, like the little old lady and little old man. And then we also compared at the end of the story that she does not get eaten because she actually uses her hair to like get his snout, and then he can't eat her, and then she trains him, and it's pretty cute. And then today, Thursday, we read The Gingerbread Baby, which they loved, and we talked about how it ended with the gingerbread baby not getting eaten. Instead, a house was built for the gingerbread baby. So basically we were focusing on the characters, not so much sequencing, just like recognizing same and different between the stories and what characters there were, and then recognizing how a story ends. And they did so good. They were so into it. Tomorrow we do our show and share, and then we're also going to decorate gingerbread cookies. I think I went through everything. Tomorrow we're gonna just use a simple die cut to do gingerbread inside of the poetry notebook. And if I have time tomorrow before we make our cookies, or maybe after we make our cookies, who knows, I'll show you what they look like. We're just using whatever supplies we already have in the cabinet. We're not going all out at all. And then next week is survival week, the week before break. We are just doing all kinds of holiday things. We have sensory bottles that we're gonna put out. We have Christmas lights. We're making ornaments during small groups. So it's just gonna be party time, you know? And then a 2-week break. And then in January, it's go time. It's time to really make sure that these kids are ready for kindergarten. I have been assessing them on their letters and sounds, and they have made a lot of growth already. So we're pretty excited about that. But that's it. So I will see you tomorrow. Woo, Friday, my favorite day. We are actually again prepared for next week. I'm loving that. Feel like I'm on top of the world these days, unlike November. But anyways, we are outside playing a little bit later today because it's been super foggy in Florida. So in the mornings, we haven't been able to go out there. It's like gross and just needed to wait a little bit longer. Yesterday we played inside, and today I was like, no, we're gonna do our inside play centers during outside time, and then we'll go outside when we normally are playing inside. So we just did a little flip-flop. Also today our administration bought us Firehouse subs for lunch, so we're really looking forward to that. But I'm going to show you the poems that we did and the ornaments, the first set of ornaments that we finished, as well as explain our bags that we make for the kids to take home. Okay, so we just finished some extras of the poems, but this is what we made for the first set of ornaments. I showed you a couple of the steps, but all right, so we added 2 eyes for Santa, a little crooked, and then dots for the mouth and dots for a snowman with an orange nose, and then we're just going to hot glue a little red nose. Okay, and then these are the bags that we got from Publix. They gave it to us for free. We just traced a circle on it, and then we are painting some red and some green. And we're gonna add some glitter around the edge, add the little top to make it look like an ornament. And then down here we put their name. Okay, so I think that's everything for this week of gingerbread. Next week we are just doing a overview of holiday stuff, ornaments and Christmas and fun little stories about Santa and all that. We're gonna write letters to Santa, which are probably going to be hilarious. I'm looking forward to that. And I feel like that's it. We were gonna do gingerbread cookies today, but ran out of time for Miss Sam to be able to make the gingerbread cookies because she makes them. She's amazing. So hopefully next week, even though it's not gingerbread week, we'll do maybe a gingerbread cookie, or we might just skip it this year because on Wednesday for cooking, we are going to do sugar cookies with like white icing, and they're gonna like, it's like kind of like light bulbs made out of M&Ms. And then we also on Thursday next week have our party, so I need to get that part organized. So I'm gonna go because I have stuff to do. I gotta write my email for the parents. I gotta get the list of things together that we need for our party. And you know, all the list is never ending. But as always, if you like this video, don't forget to give it a big thumbs up. Click that subscribe button and that notification bell, and I will see you very soon. Bye.